it's the full complement of the WhatsApp messages between these two persons. I'm talking about Richard Jakpa, the Attorney General, and the audio has also been admitted into evidence. How is all of this going to impact on the case going forward, the path that this case will follow?
Okay, good. So what it is that once they've been admitted, so they've crossed that hurdle, meaning that at the end of the case, when the judge has to review everything and come to a decision, the judge will review what Jakpa presented and review what Dami also presented. I mean, that's the prosecution presenting it, right? And see the weight. So you see, it's very, very important for us to make this point. You see, for us in law, the fact that a document has been accepted by the judge doesn't mean that ipso facto it is 100% correct, or even that the judge will find it 100% relevant. Sometimes it may not be totally, but it's sufficient to clarify a certain point. That's why the judge has accepted it. But it doesn't mean that when it comes to judgment, it is that document that will hold sway. It is that document that will deliver everything. No. The judge will read both and see what weight to put on each, right? Now, but there's a critical thing. You see, I don't know, maybe if I missed that point. Jakpa is crying that the version that Dami, that's the prosecution, which they got through Dami, presented is distorted. They say, yeah, Tadiosori raised an objection, issues about dates, etc. Of course, the judge rightly admitted it because in the explanation of the judge, you accept that there was a conversation. And this is what the Attorney General said happened. It's admitted. Maybe moving forward, what they should be doing is to ask that both phones should be brought in. Yes, there's a way it's done. When we're doing the Agojo trial, yes, we had that phase. That Dami will yield his phone, Jakpa will yield his phone. Then they would extract. So there's a way the judge will make an order to be taken to NIB. In the Agojo trial, it was done. So NIB, they will do it, or even sometimes national security too. I don't know specifically about national security, but this one went to NIB. So they will extract.
So they should take their phones?
Yes, and extract. Of course, it's not a general search. It will be limited to that. It's not an opportunity to go fishing their phones for other things. No, you'll be present. They don't leave it and go. You'll be present, and then they will extract that portion so that the judge will now see that, okay, NIB extracted this from Jakpa's phone, and then NIB extracted this from Dami's phone. Then the judge would have that. So, of course, it will be upon their application. So, it's for Jakpa to, the lawyers to make the application. So that the judge will now look at that. And that would help. Because once Sore is complaining that there are distortions, that is a way to solve it. Right. That is the way to solve it. So, it will have an impact. You see, and when we say an impact, let's not make a mistake. There are different levels of impact. The biggest one, which that one we are allowed to start discussing, is the fact that Ghana has been damaged. And that's what we keep crying about here, even before we come to the legal answers. As for the legal answers, it's for the judge. The judge will do that analysis at the end. But the biggest impact so far, arguably, is the impact on Ghana, that we've been embarrassed as a nation, needless embarrassment, like I keep saying from day one. What are we seeking to achieve? If Atufosin goes to jail, so what will happen? What will happen? So in your bid to get Atufosin into jail, this is how you embarrass a nation. You know how much we've been damaged? It's not worth it. It's not worth it. That, oh, minority leader went to jail. So what? At this price, a huge price. What we've shown is that we're a banana republic. That is what we've shown by this tape and these conversations. That this thing happened and we didn't get elders to get up and stop it. Because the cases I have read, I keep telling you, look, I've read disclosure, criminal disclosures, and I have a manuscript
of that. You say we are
at
an infant state.
Yes, we are an infant state. The cases I read, UK, US, the other countries, you don't find an attorney general being this deep involved in an underhand dealing. No, And I've repeated here that the UK arms deal that the UK people stopped. They stopped the prosecution. They saw that the nation was going to be embarrassed. Ministers, etc. The corruption in the deals, etc. Yeah. They stopped it. Honorable, you know about it, right?
Is that a arms deal?
Thank you. They stopped it. Thank you. Thank you that you also know about it. Why are we so childish? I mean, so forgive me, because every time I look at this case, I'm like, so partisanship is now more important than the whole nation.
Do you see all of this just about partisanship?
That is what I see, because those who are not speaking, not too long ago, when Domahini went to address some people, there was a Supreme Court decision, and Domahini, Ajimambedu, he said if he was on the panel, he would have decided another way. Didn't we have senior lawyers calling for his blood, that he should be sanctioned, blah, blah, blah? Where are the same senior lawyers? A judge spoke as a citizen. Then they say, oh, Domahini should be sanctioned, blah, blah, blah. You know, now he's no longer even in Accra. He's somewhere in Volta region. Transferred, you know, he's somewhere in Volta region. But my point is that those who spoke when Domahini made that comment, today, where are they? So this tape, look, listen, I don't know. And that's how come, listen, there comes a point we have to speak up. Sometimes you have to speak up.
But some have also held that view to the extent that the case is not over as yet, and the prosecution has just started cross-examining Richard Jakpa. Would it be fair to have that conclusion that those who haven't spoken are just doing so in the interest of their own parochial, considerations?
Absolutely.
When the prosecution have just started their own cross-examination, which is also bringing another side of the case.
Oh, listen, we are very fair, okay, in the comments that we are making that people are not speaking. Is very legitimate. Why? These are the very things we wanted to stop, because right now, as the trial drags on, it's the judiciary that's been soiled. We as a nation soiled. So look, the prosecutors, when you go to the Attorney General's the ministry, there's a book. There is a book on prosecutions, right? The decision to. So when you go on, there is public interest. One of the elements when you are prosecuting, you can interview the Kpebu, ask him. There is a book there. It was done honorable during your term. There's a book, prosecutor's manual. So when there can be a crime today, but when you are going to prosecute, there are many factors. It's not just about the evidence, but you also look at the public interest. Is there public interest in the prosecution of the case, etc.? So what I'm saying is that when you look at the larger public interest, we have been hurt more. That is what we are talking about. That one, we don't need the cross-examination to go on. Rather, the point was that as soon as they said there was going to be a tape, and I heard Justice Yoni Kulendi, Supreme Court judge, is involved, he, Dami himself, etc. The moment Dami couldn't deny that he was involved in those transactions, I could see that, no, we are going to be embarrassed. We are going to be embarrassed. So that's when we said, stop it. They didn't. And now you see what's happened. You see how it's gone in. So that so many things, he, Dami himself, hear the things he was saying. Now I'm telling the witness that, no, don't say that. Say this. And then the Jakpa asked him, oh, you mean so I should answer it your way? He hesitated, but finally said yes. Asking him to go and bring a fake medical report, right? Asking him to lengthen his conversation, etc. And you think this one is good, and they are saying they are waiting for cross-examination of Jakpa. What is, can the cross-examination of Jakpa undo what you heard the Attorney General say in this 16-minute tape? People are just,
how do you expect
can it undo what the Attorney General, the tape that's been on play? What are you going to get from Jakpa that can undo what Dami said? Are we saying we are not worried by what Dami said, and Akufo-Addo is there, has not sacked Dami, and the Supreme Court judge has not resigned, so that we will see that, oh, after this tape came out, well, the system is strong. The actors left the scene. Yes, because Dami has to go, Yoni has to go. It's unfortunate, because otherwise, then it just shows that we've embraced prosecutorial misconduct. And that's what I'm saying, no, let's fight it with all the strength that we can master.
But just this question I was going to ask about how you expect this case to impact on our criminal jurisprudence, for instance, in the end. So that no matter how this case ends, how should it impact on the jurisprudence that we have criminally? Even though you say that in terms of other areas of our criminal jurisprudence, we are still infant. But this case is playing out in a very interesting way. how is it going to impact on our criminal jurisprudence going forward?
Oh, the impact is already started. It's confirmed people's views, and when you follow some of the radio discussions, you see that they say, they've always told you that there are underhand dealings in prosecutions, people talking to judges, etc. And that's the very embarrassing part. They say, we said it, we said it, we said it, we said it. And see, so far they said it to Sudaho Ekufado. He is the beneficiary of what Dami sought to do, so he will not sack Dami. And you see, that's also ongoing. So as for the impact, we are suffering it, we are suffering it. It's negative. It's all negative, negative, negative. That's why I say, even at the stage that the tape was brought in, so like the judge, they say, if the judge had stopped the trial, at least that would have been the minimum, and that would have helped to show that, okay, in our society, we don't support, we don't encourage prosecutorial misconduct. But you see where the decision went? Of course, tomorrow there's opportunity for, if the trial gets to an end, there's an opportunity for the Court of Appeal to come to a different decision. But one thing is very clear. Listen, as a nation, we can't accept this tape. This tape cannot go, the actors in the tape cannot go unpunished. Dami has to suffer something for this. Yoni Kulendi too has to. Yes, because otherwise, then it means that we are just too weak as a society. Banana Republic, further confirmation. Of course, there have been several confirmations. The $800 million, the Cecilia Dapa matter. You know the scandals. So now is one day, one scandal. One day, one scandal. Yes, but this tape and what is playing out in court further cements it. That listen, we are just so partisan that when even the truth is staring us in the face, we will look in the political direction, right? And that's very bad.
Well,